Yeah, hello everyone, and welcome to another day. Let's talk today about what I call the deed of inheritance. Okay, but before we go into that, as always, let's just talk about something else anyway, because I'm going to be brief on that. I'll be reading from Isaiah chapter 14, okay, verse 12. It says, how you fallen from heaven, O morning star. Yes, some scriptures, some versions actually say, O Lucifer, son of the dawn. And this is where they get it wrong and then they get misled into thinking that the devil's name is Lucifer, and all of that. But then I believe that we don't need to go into all the background to clear up that air. There's also research online, we can always check that. So he says, I'm O morning star, son of the dawn. He says, you have been cast down to the earth. You who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. If he says in his heart he will ascend to heaven, that should tell you that he wasn't in heaven at the time he said he would ascend to heaven. Okay, and why is that? Because um, there's a video I did do sometime last year in which I said that Yahweh is actually the guardian of the earth. Okay, and that's why he is the God of this world, because he was appointed guardian a long time ago. Okay, so he says, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. He says, I will sit enthroned on the mount of assembly, on the utmost heights of the sacred mountain. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. Wishful thinking, anyway. Then he says, I will make myself like the Most High. Now, I want to just explain some a bit and then we'll go on. He says, I will make myself like the Most High. Of course, that will tell us it's very clear he's not the Most High, but he says he's going to make himself like the Most High. That's number one. Now, number two, it is very obvious that in making himself like the Most High, he knew definitely that there was no way that he was going to go into the city of the Most High and overthrow everybody, and overthrow the Most High. He knew that's not possible. So, how was he going to make himself like the Most High? I'll tell you how. He was going to make himself like the Most High amongst men. That's the honest truth. So, in the world today, it is generally believed and accepted, and that is a great deception. It is generally believed and accepted that Yahweh is God. Why? Because he made himself like the Most High God in this world. Because, in the realm of the spirits, everybody knows each other's place. That's the honest truth. You understand? There's no pretense there. Everyone knows where every person belongs. Everyone knows the level of power or authority that you have or that you possess. Right? So what does he do? He says, I will make myself like the Most High. He knows that amongst the spirits, of course, no one would ever think that he is the Most High or even like the Most High. It doesn't come close. Doesn't even come close to Jesus. Even right now, it doesn't even come close to you who is in Christ. That's the honest truth. But you just don't know because you're ignorant. You don't know who you are. So that's why you place him on a certain pedestal. But then let's keep that. That's for another day stuff. What am I trying to say is this? See, you know, he's made himself like the Most High amongst men. And that is why even the unbeliever today thinks that Yahweh is God. The atheist thinks he is God. The Muslims, those ones are already deceived. The Jews, they never knew the truth. Okay? Christ came. Christ said, I am the first and the last. Why is he the first and the last? He is the first from the Most High and he is the last from the Most High. That's the truth. So when the Bible calls him the apostle and high priest of our faith, that's exactly what it's talking about because he is the first and the last. He is the one who came to proclaim the news. What am I, I marvel sometimes when I listen to a lot of things. Okay, but before we go there, let me just read what I wanted to say. Then let's have a discussion on what else it is that's on my mind right now. Okay, I'll read from Revelation chapter 5. It says, Then I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll. This is the Most High now. He's holding a scroll with writing on both sides and sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a mighty angel proclaiming in a loud voice, Who is worthy to break the seals and open the scroll? It says, But no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth could open the scroll or even look inside it. It says, I wept and wept because no one was found who was worthy to open the scroll or look inside. Then one of the elders, he's an elder God now. Okay, it says, One of the elders said to me, Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has triumphed. He is able to open the scroll and its 7 seals. Then I saw a lamb, looking as if it had been slain, standing in the center of a throne, encircled by the 4 living creatures and the elders. He had 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent out into all the earth. He came and took the scroll from the right hand of him who sat on the throne. And when he had taken it, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. Each one had a harp, and they were holding golden bowls full of incense, which are the prayers of the saints. And they sang a new song. You are worthy to take the scroll and to open its seals, because you were slain, and with your blood you purchased men for God, from every tribe and language and people and nation, and you have made them to be a kingdom and priests to serve our God, and they will reign on the earth. Now, take note of the words there, that he's made them to be what? A kingdom, and particularly priests, to serve our God, and they shall reign on the earth. I'll take it slowly. He's made us to be what? A kingdom of priests. We've become priests after the order of Melchizedek, who is also a God in heaven, without beginning of days nor end of life, and that is the mother. Melchizedek is just a title that she holds. Okay, so back to what I was saying, but this is a deed of inheritance, and that is why Jesus was the only person who could take the scroll, because it was the deed of inheritance from the Father, the Most High God, to his Son. So no one else could take that. No one could do it. Not even the elders in heaven, nor any other person on earth, nor under the earth. Nobody, because this is your inheritance I'm giving you. That's it. So no one else was qualified to. Not like any other person could not have taken it. But now this is, I'm giving you your inheritance. That's exactly why no one was able to take that, from the Father. But what I'm trying to say is this. I want you guys to start to understand the things that we talk about here and why we do them. The reason we do them is so that you can be informed. First things first, the world is not what we think it is. I understand that, yes, we live in this world, okay, and we've got our daily activities and all of that. In doing that, also bear in mind that you who's in Christ, you are a God in Christ, number one. If you're a God in Christ, then you need to know what you should know as a God in Christ. And what do I mean by that? Okay, for me to help you understand better, if you go and do an X-ray or an MRI scan and all of that, you don't find yourself in your body. Why is that? Because you are spirit originally. A full body scan, you won't find yourself in the body. All you see is just the neural system, skeletal system that makes up the body that we live in, right? So who you are is not what you appear to be on the outside, not what we look like. That's not who we are. We're a different breed. We are something completely different. We don't even know who we are fully. That's the truth. We just say we are gods or we are sons of God because that's the higher power. You may say it's an alien race. That's fine, But what I'm trying to say is this: see, in living your normal life here, with all the daily activities that we've got to do, if you do business or you're an employee, whatever it is, you're a student, whatever, in living that life. And in trying to find balance with the spiritual life that we've possessed or we've received in Christ, And we've not just, there are levels to this thing. We've not just received it. Okay, because I'm speaking from my own place, right? My own level of perception. So I'm sorry, it's going to be difficult for me to come down to speak separately or differently. we've not just we've not just been called into something else. In this thing that we've belonged in, we've become priests. So in the spiritual realm, there's a hierarchy. There are hierarchies, right? Now the highest hierarchy in the spiritual realm is the order of Melchizedek. Now we've been placed in that order. This is who we are. This is who we've become. For you to now live like that from that place where you really are, as a spirit living in this body and having to engage with physical activities here while still retaining the originality of who you are, your perception of who you've become. What does James say? He says, do not be like the man that looks in the mirror and goes away and immediately he forgets what he looks like. That's what James says, right? What I want to tell you, see, don't be that man. You see yourself, these things we talk. Yes, you listen to it, you understand it, and then once you finish watching the video, you forget who you are. That's what James is trying to say. Do not be that man that looks in the mirror and goes away and straightway he forgets what his face looks like in the mirror. So the bottom line is this, see, in practicing the knowledge of who you are in Christ, you need to, like I said, first things first, basic, understand that you are not alone. That spirit of truth is with you. That's number one. Okay? Know the truth. What does the Bible say? Hosea 4:6, that my people are perishing. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. When you step out of your home, know one thing, and this one thing is certain. Every single person that you see is not alone. They all have minimum of one spirit with them. Minimum, I said, of one spirit with them. Whether they are aware or they are not aware, whether they are believers or they are unbelievers, it doesn't matter. It is general. It applies to everyone. That's the truth, So in understanding this, it will help you in your relationships with people. That's the truth. I mean, when I meet people, the first thing I do, I try to size up the spirit that's with them. That's what I do. First things first. I try to understand the spirit that's with them, and then how much influence that spirit has over their own lives, and how much knowledge they do have, or perception or awareness of the ghost that's with them. That's true. Whether they're in Christ or not, it doesn't matter. Okay? Why am I saying all of these things? Because it's going to help you, okay, in your interpersonal relations. It's going to help you in your daily activities. It's going to help you moving forward. And then also keep in mind that you, who is in Christ, you have power, you have authority over these spirits. That's the honest truth. So, I marvel sometimes when I listen to the church, the teachings of the church. I marvel at the level of ignorance is astounding. That's the honest truth, And I don't blame them much. Why? Because they are still in deception. They believe that Yahweh is God. They don't know the truth. So what else would we expect from them, right? So the reason why my bottom line, everything I'm just trying to tell you is this. See, to help you understand better, go over our videos. It will help you form a solid foundation in the fact and in the knowledge that you have become priests, okay, after the order of a God in heaven who holds the title Melchizedek. Jesus today in heaven after his resurrection, that deed of inheritance that he received in the book of Revelation. Like I said, every other spirit there could have taken that scroll. But why was no one found worthy to take it? Because this was a deed of inheritance from the Father to his Son. What we read there about the scrolls that are broken, okay, has to do with prophecy now that was to take place. And this has to take place under his watch. So that's why no one was found worthy amongst all the elders of God. These are also gods. And no one was, the angels, Michael, Gabriel, no one was found worthy to take it. Why? Because not one single one of them. What does it say in the book of Hebrews chapter 1? It says, to which of the angels has God ever said, you are my son. Today I have become your father. So because he never said that to anyone, no one was worthy, but he said it to his son after his resurrection from amongst humans, from the dead. So he says, you are my son. Today I have become your father. And then he's given the deed of inheritance. So yes, he's worthy to take the scroll as a son of the Most High God. Now, what I'm trying to tell you, see, we've become heirs of God and joint heirs with Christ. We are all sons and daughters of the Most High. That's the truth. And we've become priests after the order of Melchizedek. The mother holds the title Melchizedek. And that's why, like I said, that's why I chose to channel video the order of Melchizedek. Because, I mean, I can't even think of myself going to set up or start up a so-called ministry, and then come and teach people. I don't want to be responsible for all that. That's the honest truth. Because the part I'm on, I'm actually doing it for me. That's the truth. But then in doing it for me, it's required that I also teach. So that's the reason why I'm making these videos. I'm just trying to say that, see, let no one deceive you. Don't let the church deceive you, and don't let anyone deceive you. You are beyond that. When you start to understand these truths, when you start to appropriate the gifts of the spirits, you start to see the future. Your life will change. And just expect it, because that's what it is. It's not going to turn out any different from what it is that I'm actually telling you now. So what I'm just trying to say is this: know who you are in Christ. Yes, test the spirits. Stand firm, because this truth's not going to change. It is who we are. Don't let the church deceive you with the talk of Yahweh being God or Jehovah being God, as they may call him. That guy is the devil. He's not going to change. That's the truth. He's the devil. He's the cause of all the issues going on in the world today. And he's made himself God in the world, just as he said he would. I will be like the Most High God. Of course, himself, he knows it's not possible in the realm of the spirit, but in the realm of man, this world, yes, very much possible so. And he accomplished that. So let's give that yeah, you did accomplish it. So what I'm just trying to say is that, see, know the truth for yourself. Stand firm, okay? And you will get through this world, this maze that we live in. You will get through, and when you leave here, you're going to be happy, because you will find out after stepping out your body that, yes, indeed, you are a priest after the order of the God Melchizedek. So I'm just going to leave you guys with that, and then I'll come back to you again soon. Just been busy, but then I'll try to make more videos. So take care. God bless you, and see ya. Ciao. Yep.